Hello readers, welcome back to Parents Help Kids Learn, where we learn what good readers do, and then at the end of each reading lesson, you practice these reading skills together. Today, we will learn another reading skill that good readers use. Today's lesson is, good readers adjust their reading speed. Let me say that again because this is our lesson today. Good readers adjust their reading speed. Adjusting your reading speed means, as you read, you will speed up or slow down for the different purposes and for the different difficulty levels of the text you're reading. Most of the time you'll be reading in a normal reading speed. So let's talk about a normal reading speed before we talk about speeding up or slowing down. A normal reading speed should be at the same pace or speed as regular talking. It should not be too fast or too slow. As we move forward in this lesson, I will use the words regular talking speed as the reading speed you will use most of the time. Let me give you an example from a classic children's story titled The Velveteen Rabbit, or How Toys Become Real by Marjorie Williams. I will read a passage from this story 3 times. I will read it once in a regular talking speed, I will read it once in a too slow speed, and I will read it once in a too fast speed. Listen as I read it each time, and be ready to tell your parent what speed I read it. If I read it in a regular talking speed, or a too slow speed, or a too fast speed. Let me give you a little background information on this part of the story. In this story, the boys' nursery had many toys in it, and the mechanical toys in the nursery pretended they were real. So the Velveteen Rabbit asked the Skin Horse, who was always kind to him, "What is real?" And this is what the Skin Horse said. Real isn't how you're made, said the Skin Horse. It's a thing that happens to you when a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real. What speed was that? Tell your parent. Did you say I read that in a too fast speed? Yes, I did, and too fast is not a good reading speed. Because when we read too fast, we often skip words that we shouldn't skip. We add words that we shouldn't add. And it's hard to understand what we're reading when we're reading in a too fast speed. Let me try again. Real, isn't, how, you, are. Let me stop right there. What speed was that? Tell your parent. Did you say I read that in a too slow speed? Yes, I did. And too slow is not a good reading speed. Because when you read too slow, there is too much space between the words and it's hard to understand what's happening. Let me try again. Real isn't how you are made, said the Skin Horse. It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real. What speed was that? Tell your parent. Did you say I was reading in a regular talking speed? Yes, I was. And that is the speed you will use most of the time. Practice reading in a regular talking speed when this lesson is over. At times, you will need to slow down your reading speed. There are several reasons to slow down when you're reading. Here are some of them. Number 1, when you need to remember what you are reading, which we call reading to remember, slow down and pay attention to the words, the images you are visualizing, the illustrations or pictures, the events, and the conversations between the characters. So number 1 is slow down when you're reading to remember. Number 2, when you are reading to learn new information, such as what the Constitution of the United States is and why it is so important, slow down to understand and to think about that new information. So number 2 is slow down to learn new information. Number 3, slow down your reading speed if you need to memorize some of the text you're reading to prepare for a test or for some other reason. An example of this would be if you need to memorize the definitions of exoskeleton and endoskeleton for a science test. So number 3 is slow down if you need to memorize some of the text. Number 4, slow down to concentrate when you come to difficult or confusing parts of a text. So number 4 is slow down when you come to difficult or confusing parts of a text. There are also some reasons to speed up when you're reading. Here are 2 of them. Number 1, readers speed up to scan. Scanning is reading a text quickly in order to find specific information. You may scan through a magazine to find the articles you're most interested in. Or you may scan through your cable guide to find your favorite TV show. You may scan through the dictionary to find the definition of a word. You may scan through the newspaper to find your favorite team scores. So number 1 is you will speed up to scan for specific information. Number 2, readers also speed up when they skim. Skimming is reading quickly to get the main point or to identify the main ideas in a text. Skimming works best with nonfiction text. When you skim, you will ask, what is the main point in this text? Or what are the main ideas in this text? And then you'll read quickly through the text to find the main point or the main ideas. So number 2, you will speed up to skim to find the main point or the main ideas in the text. If skimming and scanning are difficult for you, try them first on easy texts. It's important to know that skimming and scanning do not take the place of careful reading, but they can be helpful at times. Now it's your turn to read together. Choose some just right books, and as you read, adjust your reading speed as needed, because that's what good readers do. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time.